class. So this video is going to be about our art project that we have. I told you to pick a still life and I chose a slice of pizza because I thought it would be something fun. Now the first step that I did is I sketched out a piece of pizza. I found the piece of pizza on a Google image search and I just thought it would be fun to do. And I changed the color of pizza to purple because to me it kind of seemed like it would be fun to change it to purple. Now I want you to go and grab just one color, pick one color to focus on for our scaling today, and grab different shades that you have. If you don't have different shades, that's okay. Go ahead and grab a black and a white and maybe like a yellow and a gray. If you don't have multiple colors available, I'll show you how to make different colors. So the first thing that we're going to do is after we sketch, we're going to do what's called scaling. And we're going to go in our journal and find our journal for today. And then we're just going to use the siding of the page sort of like right here. And I want you to have at least 5 colors. So starting the very light with the very lightest shade of your color. So you could either make this by coloring white and then coloring the shade of the color that you have. If you don't have another shade, I have a light color purple, so I'm going to go ahead and color this in. Now just to give you an example, what I'm going to do, that's like a lavender color. If you don't have anything but a few like colored pencils of the color you chose, you can color white on top, and then I could choose like this average looking purple, and then I could just color over top the white, which turns it into a light purple, as long as I put the white in there. So that either of these can be in light purple. I'm just scaling. So I'm going to have more scales than you do. So then I'm going to go to a slightly darker kind of a purple color. And then it sort of looks like this is going to be darker than this. So it's like a light medium purple. Maybe I'll go with this instead. This is a light lavender. Okay, so this would just be like your average color, and you can color lightly with your average color so that you get a medium scale purple. So now we're going to move over into dark medium. So a dark medium would be like, it's not the darkest shade, it's a dark medium. So a dark medium would be like a regular purple. And I'm not pressing hard on this. If this were the only one that I have, I would just color normally with it. Let's say like you get too much of an average color, what you could do is you could color some gray. And it's pencil, so it can sort of blend if you have an eraser. So say that I didn't have that shade, what I could do is I could make something similar by coloring it in and then using the tip of my eraser to blend it out to something a little bit darker. Now it does look a little bit more gray than I was hoping, but we can always add more purple in there. See how that's sort of similar? So I'm showing you if you have a lot of colors or if you have different colors. Now when you have markers, it's going to be more difficult to do this. You really don't want to press down. Like if you only have like a couple markers, you really want to really be careful with it if you're trying to make something light. So the next shade is going to be dark purple. So for dark purple, you might already have a dark purple. I have a dark purple. This looks like it's a dark purple. This looks like it's a dark purple. I'm going to use this violet color. Okay, so if you really want to get like a dark color and you're just not finding that like in the colors that you're using, there's two ways to do this. You could really add the black afterward, just like lightly to the color, and then try to blend it in. Or what you could do instead is you could try to use a different kind of like marker or pen. So this is definitely going to show up darker than what a color pencil would. And if you wanted to do the same for light, just to add it to your scale, you would probably find that this color would go somewhere like here. So when we have enough of our scaling, I want you to at least have 5, we can start to work on our picture. It works better if you color the lighter like parts of the picture first. So I noticed that where the yellowish like pizza part is, that's going to be the lowest, like the lightest point. So I'm going to go ahead and look. I think it would be about there. So remember, we're only using one color, so stick to that color. So I'm going to use this color, and then I'm going to look at the lighting on the pizza, and I might actually take it down because it's going to be easier for me to see. And then I'm just going to kind of color lightly. I noticed that this isn't the color that I want. I want more of this color. I think that was light lavender, if I can find that again. This is not light lavender, this is lavender. This is light lavender. Okay. So I'm gonna color this as if it were a light lavender. In all the yellow spots. So I'm just going to give you a brief idea of like which parts are going to be light, which parts are going to be medium, and which parts are going to be dark. It's sort of like a map when you map it out. So all of this, all of that, all in here is going to be purple, this color purple. So that shows where your light points are. So then I'm going to move on to the medium, and the medium parts that we have are the crusts. So it looks like the crusts are just slightly darker, so I'm going to move into my regular lavender. And I'm going to go ahead and start coloring in my crusts. Now you want to take your time. I know I am going fast, but I'm just trying to give you an idea here of what you're going to do. And I'm trying to see if we kind of have that little spot right here that's sort of like a medium kind of color we can kind of accent in here. Some of these bubbles look like they're a little bit darker. They would be somewhere in between there. Now, if you have other colors, you can really go ahead and break it up into even further if you would like to with different colors. Now, our darkest parts are the pieces of pepperoni, and then they also have darker parts on them too. So you really want the pepperoni to be bright just like it is, and I really think to really capture that look of that pepperoni, I am going to highlight with the darkest part of the pepperoni being the marker, and where it's like darker in the picture, just gonna outline So I might go and pick this one on the very edge, and I'm just going to kind of highlight over where it's darker, and then I will color in, and I will leave the color and like light enough so that I can see the holes and where the spices are on the pepperoni, so that way I can fill them in with a different color when I'm done coloring it in. So there's what the pepperoni looks like. I kind of wanted a bright color, sort of like pepperoni is bright, so I used a bright shade of purple. Then I'm going to take this color and I'm going to trace over my little spices. So if you have any like little details, you really want to do that before you actually start coloring these in. And I'm just going to show you, like, you can do different kinds of dots where you see like the spices on the pepperoni, and some are a little bit darker, some are a little bit smaller. And then we can do the same over here. Just kind of fill them in. And that kind of gives you an idea of the colors that I'm going to be using. And when I finish, I will upload so that you'll be able to see it. And I look forward to seeing your creations too. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you design, and I hope you enjoyed this project.